You have bewitched me body and soul, and I love you. I never wish to be parted from you from this day on." These words, spoken by Mr. Darcy in the 2005 film adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, have become one of the most unforgettable declarations of love in cinematic history. And yet, what follows is even more powerful. Elizabeth, overwhelmed by his words, looks at him and simply replies, "Well then, your hands are cold." It's an understated response, but one that carries immense weight. Because in that moment, Elizabeth is not just acknowledging his words, she is reaching for him. She takes his hands, warming them with her own, closing the distance that had separated them for so long. This small act of touch speaks volumes. In the world of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, where propriety dictates restraint, and where love is conveyed through stolen glances and carefully chosen words, touch, especially between an unmarried man and woman, was rare. But in the 2005 film, this simple hand touch becomes the final, undeniable proof of their love. And yet, what many may not realise is that this moment, this entire exchange, never actually happens in Austen's novel. So why did the filmmakers choose to add it? And what does this tell us about romance, both in the Regency era and in modern storytelling? In Jane Austen's time, physical contact between unmarried men and women was strictly controlled. Society dictated that expressions of affection remained subtle, almost invisible. A lingering glance, a carefully worded letter, or the act of standing a little closer than propriety allowed. These were the ways romance unfolded. Elizabeth and Darcy's love story is built not on dramatic embraces or passionate confessions, but on something much deeper: mutual understanding and respect. Their relationship is transformed through conversations, through the gradual unravelling of their misunderstandings, through a shift in how they see each other. And yet, despite all their shared moments in the novel, there is one thing that never happens. Elizabeth never touches Darcy's hand. The closest Austen ever brings them to physical contact is during their dance at the Netherfield ball. Dancing, in Regency society, was one of the few socially acceptable ways a man and woman could touch, but even that was fleeting. A brief clasp of hands, a structured movement, and then they would part again. In the 2005 film, however, touch is used as a language of its own. One of the most memorable additions is Darcy's hand flex, a small, blink and you miss it moment after he helps Elizabeth into a carriage. The way his fingers twitch after their brief touch tells us everything we need to know. Darcy is shaken by even the smallest contact with her. It's a moment of longing, of restraint, of suppressed emotion. By the time we reach the final "your hands are cold" scene, this motif of hands, of reaching out, of wanting but hesitating, has built to its inevitable conclusion. Darcy no longer holds back. He takes Elizabeth's hands, and for the first time, she meets him halfway. So why did the filmmakers add this moment? Because in cinema, emotions often have to be seen, not just spoken. In Austen's novel, we can read Darcy's inner turmoil, his struggle, his growth. But on screen, those emotions need a visual counterpart. The addition of this final hand touch isn't just for romance, it is a storytelling device. It transforms their love story from something intellectual to something felt. It is the ultimate breaking down of walls. Darcy, once so controlled and bound by duty, now freely expresses his love, not just with words, but with touch. And Elizabeth, who once rejected him so fiercely, now does the opposite. She accepts him. She reaches for him. She warms his hands in her own, silently telling him that she is his and he is hers. The "your hands are cold" scene is not just a moment of tenderness. It is the physical manifestation of everything Pride and Prejudice is about. A journey from pride to humility, from prejudice to understanding, from distance to closeness. Jane Austen may not have written this moment, but in many ways it captures the very essence of her novel. Because love is not always about grand gestures or dramatic speeches. Sometimes love is as simple as a glance held too long, a carriage ride where fingertips brush, a hand, once cold, now warmed by another. What do you think? Does this scene capture the spirit of Pride and Prejudice? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into literature and film.